Hey everybody, welcome to Bass Talk with Freekbass. This is Freekbass. I'm here every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time at the Facebook page. That is facebook.com, Freekbass Music. Please hit your live notification and hit the share button. I'm also over at YouTube, youtube.com/the Freekbass channel. Thank you to, I'm starting to get more and more people kind of communicating with me over at YouTube, which I totally love. We just, a couple months back, started kind of trying to get things kind of rolling over in YouTube world. I really appreciate it. So if you're digging what you're seeing and you're on the YouTube side of things, please hit the thumbs up and or the subscribe button. Hit them both. That's even better. So I really appreciate that. And we are also over at Twitch. That's Twitch/Freekbass too as well. So we're kind of jumping all over the internet world here with Bass Talk. And what do we do here at Bass Talk? If this is your first time here, we talk everything bass. We do bass line breakdowns. We talk about different techniques. We've last couple weeks, I think we were talking about creating a bass line only using 2 notes. And it's, to me, a big part of what I really try to convey for what I know is about writing bass. It's not just about playing them and creating, the technical side, which is important, but it's also developing as a writer, be able to write your own bass lines and create music. And so hopefully that's one of the things that you get from watching these. And I really appreciate, I get more and more emails every week for people that aren't even bass players, or just musicians, other musicians, or just people that are just fans of music that just kind of like to peek behind the curtain and kind of see how the cookies are made, and they might get some inspiration from that. So I really appreciate that so much. So for this week, what we're going to do is I get a lot of people asking me, it seems like almost every week I get at least 3 or 4 people either in the comments or they send me an email, which if you ever want to send me a personal email, it's real easy, freekbass@freekbass.com. That's pretty easy, just like it sounds. And or please leave a comment below. That always helps too as well. And I will answer every comment, whatever the comment or question is. But what I get a lot of people always asking me, hey, Freekbass, how do you get that sound? What's especially that filter kind of sound, and that's become a big part of my sound. For me, it's not just a matter of just having this cool, crazy sound and effect, but it's actually a writing tool. And, as I mentioned when we first started today, to being a bass player that writes your bass lines, that's really one thing that I here at Bass Talk, I really want to always try to focus on is, create the act of creating music, not just a matter of just, doing the technical side, which is important. And we're going to talk about all that stuff because they kind of work hand in hand. The technical things will help you write and create bass lines in different kind of ways. But one of the things are these tools that we have, such are different effects pedal. And the one, one of the pedals that I use a lot is I use a filter pedal. I use a bunch of different companies. There's so many great ones out there. So I thought over the next couple months, periodically I would bring out different pedals and kind of show you what I use, what they do, and what they might be able to do for you. And the one that I use a lot, and I just love so much, they're a great company. Hello to Daryl over there too. Is over at Jim Dunlop. Jim Dunlop, great company, and they do the MXR pedals. And this is like, you will hear me using this pedal a lot, and this is the MXR Bass Envelope Filter. There's so many things to love about this pedal right here, and I will break it down for you here, kind of step by step what I love about it. My main thing that I love about this pedal is you just plug it in, and it frickin' sounds good. It's not like, you can see the way I have it adjusted right now. Everything is straight up 12 o'clock almost. And you... sounds really full. And the nice thing about this pedal is too, a lot of filter pedals, there are companies out there that they all sound really great, but like sometimes certain pedals have a tendency to kind of suck your low end away. You get the wah-wah side of it, the quonk, quonk, quonk kind of stuff to it. But in turn, it like your bottom end just goes. And that's what I really love about the MXR Bass Envelope Filter is it still keeps you sounding really full. You know, if I don't even play that hard, you can barely even tell that I have it on. It really also plays a lot of how hard and you pluck off that string. Pluck or... It doesn't have to be just thumping and plucking. That works really great, but you can also do finger style, as you heard me just doing. And again, you can see I have literally everything right at about 12 o'clock, you know? It's literally just, it's like, you know, plug and play, and that's it. Now, one thing I want to say about pedals too, you know, so much of the way these pedals work is off of your technique and how hard you hit that string, or, you know, whether it be finger style or thumping or plucking. So, you know, you're going to plug into this pedal and you're going to sound different than I do. That's what I love about filter pedals too, is they're very human oriented in the sense that the way that your attack and the way you hit the pedal is going to affect this pedal a lot. It's going to sound a lot different. I do want to show you some of the cool features on here on this pedal, though. It's pretty neat. You can do, you see at the top, this first knob right here, this is dry. So let's say if I turn this all the way off, basically off, down, you know, to be about, well, be about, I guess, it'll be about 7 o'clock, and then I'm looking backwards, so I apologize here. And then if you turn the dry all the way up, that's just, you hear no effect at all, right? That's just dry. Likewise, if you went the other way, turn the dry all the way down and the effects all the way up, which you could do, you get all that effect. Now, that's what I was a little bit talking about a little earlier, but if you just leave that effect up with no dry, it starts getting a little thin sounding, for my opinion. But that's what's beautiful about the MXR Bass Envelope pedal, filter pedal, is you turn them up. What I do is I do a mix of both. Like I said, I take it each one to about 12 o'clock, right there, and then it sounds real nice and full and meaty too, which is awesome. I love it. They've got some other cool little, there's the decay on here. I'll kind of go this way. Decay almost kind of pulls a little bit of that effect down. You've got the Q, which is kind of like the effect. So if you turn the Q all the way counterclockwise, it almost sounds dry, almost kind of a dry thing. And you go back up, you know, that's all the way up. Again, I like it right in that sweet spot right in the middle. Not too hot, not too cold. Total Goldilocks and the Three Bears with this pedal, which is what I love. And then you got, what's this last one here? This is the sensitivity. This is an important one. This is, you know, based off of, you are going to want to probably mess with this one a little bit because it's going to be judging off of how hard or how heavy you play on your string. But I almost kind of think of it backwards. I kind of leave these set and then I use my technique to gauge what is happening with the pedal too as well. So another nice really thing about this, the MXR Bass Envelope Filter is that as you can see, it's pretty compact too, which I love. Like when I do, it'll fit in a pedal board very, very easily, which is nice. But the other really great thing is like I'll bring this and a couple other pedals when I'm doing like an overnight fly gig, which I do a lot of those where I'm just flying into a town and doing like two gigs and I have to, you know, fly with my bass. I can just shove these into my mono, my case, suitcase, whatever, you know, even my here's like my little mono bag or even my bass mono case, and it fits great. You know, you just this and a couple pedals and you're good to go. So and again, you can just hear it just sounds so full and rich. I mean, that's what I really like about this one too. So MXR Bass Envelope Filter, I think, you know, they're reasonable too. I think maybe, you know, I mean, obviously Google it, but I think they're, you know, in the 150-ish range, you know. I mean, there's really nothing really bad I can say about the pedal. It's a cool color. I like the color, you know. I talk to a lot of bass players too that gig a lot, that really like this, that use this pedal too. You know, I'm not the only one for sure. So yeah, so if you're thinking about, you know, getting an envelope filter, or you already have one and you want to try to experiment with some other ones, I highly recommend this one a lot. A great company, Jim Dunlop Products, MXR Bass Envelope Filter. So definitely check it out. You heard me playing them lit. I'll play a little bit more here with it. You can kind of see it just sounds, even with a nice little drum beat, it kind of, the other thing nice about filter pedals is it kind of gets you, the reason I use them a lot, it's not just for the sound or the effect sound of the whole thing, like the wah-wah aspect of it. It's more being able to get my bass to kind of cut through the mix of stuff, whether, especially if you're playing in a big band with like horns and guitar players and, you know, the drums or whatever, vocals, you know, you want your, I want to cut, but I don't want to be cut like in a obnoxious, like to where it's tearing your head off kind of way, but just where it kind of sits out, where you can kind of hear a lot of like the definition of a lot of the notes that I'm playing. And that's another nice thing about using envelope filters. It's a really good effect for that. Even when sometimes even when the context of a band, you don't even really so much hear the wah-wah stuff of it. You're just hearing the cut of the note. So again, let me play a little bit like, you know, something like this. Watch, I'm going to play the groove, and then you'll hear when I'll pull certain notes, and it'll really poke out. Check this out, like this. Watch. Yeah, so many great sounds. Again, the MXR Bass Envelope Filter. Check it out. Great company. They make so many great effects, but this is one I highly recommend. I'll do some other reviews of other filters and other pedals too, as well as we go on here in Bass Talk. But that's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you join me this Saturday night if you're at the Facebook page, Saturday Night Chit Chat. That's every Saturday night, 9 p.m. with a new guest. If you didn't get a chance to watch last week's, I have the amazing Rudy Sarzo, Quiet Riot, Ozzy Osbourne, Blue Oyster Cult. Great bass player, great knowledge, has a great story about how he got the gig with Quiet Riot. It has to do with playing with your fingers. That's on the Facebook page. That's also at YouTube now too as well. We're starting to pop it over there too. And yeah, so you can either, no matter which place you're looking at, you'll be able to find it there. So check that out. Thank you all so much. Play more bass. Check out